You feel it, don't you? That quiet rot beneath your polished smile, the pulse of something ancient choking under the noise of notifications, the scroll, the endless performance. Modern life doesn't just distract you, it devours you. It feeds on your attention, your hunger, your shadow. You were born with fire in your veins, and they taught you to fear your own heat. You learned to trade instinct for etiquette, truth for approval, and soul for algorithms. You've become a ghost in a system that worships masks. Your reflection isn't you. It's the echo of every demand you've ever obeyed. Carl Jung warned that the greatest danger is losing yourself in the crowd, dissolving into the collective lie. Look at your hands. They still remember something primal. A truth buried beneath compliance, a self that refuses to die quietly. The world wants you numb, predictable, obedient, but deep down, something ancient is stirring. A fracture in the facade. That's the beginning, the death before the awakening. You're not here to fit in, you're here to remember. Now listen carefully, because what comes next will burn everything false inside you. Number 1, the mirage of modern identity. You've been taught to build yourself out of glass, transparent, polished, and perfectly reflective of what others want to see. They called it ambition. They called it progress, but it's imitation. You are a carefully manufactured illusion, a puppet animated by trends, expectations, and fear. Jung would call this the swollen ego, inflated with false light, detached from the depths that give life meaning. You've mistaken visibility for worth, attention for validation, applause for love, but each like, each glance, each metric tightens the leash around your neck. The collective has hijacked your individuality, feeding you borrowed dreams until you no longer recognize the sound of your own hunger. You wear a name, a career, a role, but none of it is you. The self has been replaced by performance, the mind fragmented by noise, the ego bloated yet hollow, and beneath that shell, your true self watches, silent, patient, waiting to be remembered. You can feel it sometimes in the quiet between scrolls, in the moments when the applause fades and the emptiness echoes louder than any praise. That's the fracture, the invitation. You're not breaking down, you're breaking free. Comment this phrase right now. I am no one's reflection. Let the illusion crumble. The real work begins here. Number 2, the birth of the shadow. Every lie you've ever told yourself has a heartbeat. Every smile you forced, every truth you've buried, and they didn't vanish. They gathered. They built a shape inside you, a silent twin made of everything you reject. That's your shadow. You think it's evil because it frightens you, but Jung knew better. He saw it as the crucible of power. The shadow isn't your enemy, it's the half of you that remembers what freedom tastes like. Modern life taught you to amputate your darkness, to hide your rage, your lust, your chaos, the raw matter of creation itself. So you pretend to be civilized while your soul howls beneath the floorboards. You call it anxiety, depression, burnout. But these are the screams of your imprisoned instincts, the parts of you that refuse to die. When you meet your shadow, it will not shake your hand. It will drag you to the mirror and make you look. That's where real healing begins. Not in light, but in the intimacy of your own darkness. You were never meant to be pure. You were meant to be whole. And wholeness requires everything, even what you've buried. Comment this phrase now. I see my shadow and rise. Say it like a promise, because tonight, the shadow wakes. Number 3, the prison of persona. You've mastered the art of pretending. You wear your persona like armor, polished, convincing, impenetrable. You smile when breaking. You nod when dying inside. You perform normality so well that even your reflection applauds. But beneath that perfect performance, something feral claws at the seams. The persona is a mask, a necessary deception, Jung said. But when the mask becomes your skin, you suffocate. You start to believe your own disguise. Society rewards this obedience. Be polite, be productive, be likable. Yet each compliment feels like another lock tightening around your true voice. You're praised for the very thing that's killing you. You scroll past curated lives, compare your soul to illusions, and call it connection. But deep down, you know it's mimicry. The persona protects you from rejection, yes, but it also starves you of authenticity. And authenticity is oxygen. The more you feed the mask, the more your self withers in silence. You've forgotten how to be unfiltered, unpresentable, unapologetically real. The time has come to let the mask crack, to bleed through the performance and remember your raw face beneath. Comment this phrase now: my mask is cracking, because only when the persona fractures can the self finally breathe. Number 4, the death of the soul. You've been living in slow motion, a body moving through obligations, an echo of someone you used to be. This is what happens when the soul begins to die. Not all at once, but piece by piece, each time you betray your inner truth for comfort, for approval, for safety. Jung called this psychic death, the quiet corrosion of meaning beneath the surface of function. You wake, work, consume, sleep. A perfect automaton in a system that thrives on your emptiness. You no longer ask why, only what next. But the soul does not vanish quietly. It protests in symptoms. The fatigue that no rest can cure, the sadness with no clear origin, the ache that hums when everything is supposedly fine. These are not malfunctions. They are messages, warnings from the depths that you are starving for your own essence. The collective demands efficiency. The soul demands depth. And when those two collide, one must die. Let the machine self rot. Let the false purpose burn. You were never meant to be data. You were meant to be divine. Comment this phrase now: I reclaim my soul. Because this is not the end. It's the beginning of resurrection. Number 5, descent into the shadow. You are falling now, not outward, but inward. Down through layers of false light, into the deep, wet corridors of your own psyche. The descent feels like death because part of you is dying. The obedient self, the one who lived for others, the one who feared its own power. Jung called this the night sea journey, the plunge into the unconscious where monsters and gods share the same face. This is where the shadow waits, no longer patient, no longer quiet. It whispers truths you've denied, the anger you swallowed, the desire you repressed, the potential you disowned. You tremble because you've mistaken these things for sin. But sin is only unintegrated instinct. You've been running from your own medicine. Now you must drink it. This darkness isn't punishment, it's initiation. Every wound becomes a map, every fear a doorway. You will be stripped, undone, unrecognizable. And in that ruin, you'll meet the raw architecture of who you really are. To descend is to become fearless. To surrender is to be reborn. Comment this phrase now: I walk through my darkness. Let the words anchor you, because only by walking through it will you ever learn to command it. Number 6, the confrontation. You've reached the center now, where everything you've hidden stands in front of you. No more illusions, no more running. The confrontation is not with demons, but with yourself. The ego trembles here because it senses extinction. It wants control, but control has become your cage. Jung said the encounter with the unconscious is always a battle, not of dominance, but of integration. You're facing the voice that whispers when you're alone, the one that calls you by your true name. It doesn't flatter, it doesn't comfort, it demands sacrifice, the death of the persona, the surrender of certainty. You'll feel torn between madness and revelation, because transformation always looks like destruction from the outside. You'll see every piece of yourself that you despise rise from the abyss, asking to be accepted. This is the alchemical fire, the burning that purifies. If you resist, it devours you. If you yield, it remakes you. Every ego must eventually kneel before the self, not in defeat, but in recognition. You are not the mask, you are the storm that breaks it. Comment this phrase now: I face myself without fear, because only those who confront their darkness become light that cannot be extinguished. Number 7, the alchemical fire. You are inside the furnace now, the place where everything false must burn. It hurts, but it's sacred. This is not punishment, it's purification. Jung called this the alchemical stage of transformation. Nigredo, the blackening, where the soul dissolves so something higher can emerge. The ego fights to survive, clawing for its old shape, but the flames are merciless. They consume fear, lies, and illusion until only truth remains. You can feel it, the heat of becoming, the ache of renewal. This is where the shadow and the self begin to merge, the opposites intertwining like molten metal. The process is violent because creation always is. You are turning lead into gold, instinct into wisdom, pain into power, chaos into clarity. Every scar becomes a scripture, every tear, a solvent washing away what you no longer need. The world outside will call it madness, but inside, this is sacred chemistry. You are being reforged, atom by atom, nerve by nerve. Soon you'll emerge untouchable, not because you are hard, but because you are whole. Comment this phrase now: I burn to become, because the fire does not destroy the real you, it reveals it. Number 8, becoming whole. The flames fade, and what remains is silence, heavy, sacred, alive. You stand in the ruins of who you were, and for the first time you feel weightless. The fragments have stopped fighting. The shadow no longer hides, the persona no longer lies. The opposites have learned to coexist within you. This is the birth of wholeness, not perfection, but union. Jung called it individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are. It's not light without darkness, but light that embraces darkness. You are no longer torn between what the world demands and what your soul desires. You move differently now, slower, deeper, deliberate. You don't seek validation, you radiate presence. The mind that once scattered is now a single blade, cutting through illusion. The emptiness that haunted you has become a cathedral, and in its echo, you hear your own voice, unfiltered, ancient. You finally understand. Healing was never about becoming new. It was about remembering the original design. You are not fixed. You are integrated. You are not safe. You are real. Comment this phrase now: I am whole again. Because this is what the journey was always for, to bring you back to yourself. Number 9, the untouchable state. You have entered stillness now, a silence so vast it hums. Nothing can reach you here, because you've dissolved every chain that once bound you. Fear used to whisper commands into your ear. Now it kneels. The opinions of others used to shape you. Now they dissolve before your gaze. You have seen the machinery of the world, and you are no longer part of it. You are the observer, not the product. Jung spoke of the self as the totality of being, a center beyond the ego's reach. You stand there now in the center, unbothered by noise, untouched by chaos. Your energy is no longer fragmented, it is sovereign. You no longer react, you choose. You no longer chase, you attract. People will sense it, the quiet gravity of someone who has walked through their own hell and returned with the fire still burning in their eyes. You are no longer moved by manipulation, no longer seduced by illusion. The system cannot program what it cannot predict. You are free, truly, dangerously free. Comment this phrase now: I am untouchable, because this is the final transformation. Not power over others, but power over yourself. Number 10, the awakening. You open your eyes and the world is the same, yet nothing feels familiar. The noise still hums, the people still chase, the screens still glow, but you see through it all now. You've stepped outside the illusion. You've become the witness, the architect, the force that moves quietly behind every surface. This is the awakening Jung spoke of. The return to the world with new sight, where the unconscious and the conscious no longer war, but work together like twin flames. You no longer seek meaning, you generate it. You no longer wait for permission, you are the permission. Every breath is sacred, every silence deliberate. The chaos of modern life can no longer touch you because you've seen its pattern. You've faced your shadow, shattered your mask, and claimed your soul. You are whole, alive, dangerous to falsehood. This is what freedom feels like. Calm, grounded, unstoppable. You've become the mirror that reflects truth, not illusion. Comment this final phrase, I awaken beyond fear. Let the world see the rebirth in your words. And if this journey has awakened something in you, don't let it fade. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the notifications, because your awakening has just begun, and I'll be here, guiding you deeper into the fire of your own becoming.